Methane hydrate is a solid clathrate compound. It is made up of methane molecules trapped in a crystalline structure of frozen water. It is often called ice that burns. When broken down, methane hydrate contains a quantity of methane equal to 164 times the volume of the hydrate, making it a promising potential source of natural gas. Methane hydrate is formed when buried organic material decomposes to produce methane. The methane molecules become trapped, where pressure and cold temperatures cause the formation of the hydrates. The U.S. Geological Survey estimates that global deposits of methane hydrates may be greater than all of the Earth's fossil fuels combined. There are several major methane hydrate deposits around the globe. They are located under oceans and permafrost. The U.S. Department of Energy recently completed a successful test on a methane hydrate well located on Alaska's North Slope. Carbon dioxide and nitrogen were injected into the hydrate to release the methane. The pressure was then lowered so the methane gas could be extracted.
I think this field test is a real opportunity for us to take a big step in our understanding of gas hydrates and how they behave in a natural environment.
It's late March, and Rick Baker of the United States Department of Energy's National Energy Technology Laboratory and David Schoderbeck with the ConocoPhillips Technology Division are heading to the drill site on Alaska's North Slope known as Ignik-Sakumi No. 1, or Fire in the Ice.
I think the data that's going to come from this test is going to be something that we at DOE and scientists around the world are going to be chewing on for a long time.
We see this as a really interesting opportunity to expand the scale of our experiments, which have previously been run at benchtop scales, to a truly field scale experiment. In order to make this technology commercial in the future, we have to move forward incrementally from laboratory experiment to field experiment.
I mean, you look around at this moonscape that we're driving through right now. I don't think most people don't have any idea of what you really mean when you say, this is happening on the North Slope of Alaska. They think, oh, there's oil and gas operations there already. This shouldn't be that tough. But I mean, you think about the complexities of the weather, the cold, the remoteness, that on top of the sheer complexity of a giant science experiment in the field. Basically, it's really an exciting thing to see this going on.
Yes, sir. I'd like to request permission to come on the pad.
Roger that. Come on in. Make sure you put your spill containment down below your truck.
Roger that.
Approximately a half-mile beneath their feet, under a thick layer of permafrost, lies a layer of methane hydrate-rich sandstone. It's an area where natural gas is trapped within a crystal structure of water, forming a solid similar to ice.
Well, methane hydrates are basically a solid lattice of ice in which the cavities are filled with a host gas, in most cases that being methane. Where they're found, that they happen to occur in very specific sets of conditions. You need both a source of gas, a source of water to form the ice, as well as the specific temperature and pressure conditions, high pressure, low temperature, so that the hydrates form. This occurs in a few rare places around the world, primarily below and within permafrost in the Arctic region, as well as in deep water environments off the continental shelf. We're interested both in how they behave naturally and what their role might be in the global environment, global climate change, the global carbon cycle, but we're also very interested in how they might play a role in the global energy portfolio.
Methane hydrates are naturally occurring deep beneath the ocean's floor and under Arctic permafrost in regions like Alaska's North Slope. Since 2003, ConocoPhillips has been conducting laboratory experimentation with the University of Bergen, Norway, in hopes of developing a commercially viable technology to produce natural gas from hydrates. ConocoPhillips Ignik-Sakumi No. 1, a project with the U.S. Department of Energy as well as Japan Oil, Gas and Metals National Corporation, is the first experiment of this production technology outside a laboratory. Put simply, they are testing whether carbon dioxide injected into the hydrate structure will allow production of natural gas.
We've already demonstrated in the laboratory through almost a decade of experiments that we can inject carbon dioxide into a hydrate and produce methane without melting or dissociating the hydrate. The goal of the field trial is to take that experiment from laboratory scale into the real world. We take liquid nitrogen, liquid CO2, heat them to turn them into gases, and pressurize those gases for injection down the well. The composition of injected and produced gases is being constantly monitored to determine how effective the formation is at trapping carbon dioxide and producing natural gas.
So the kick that we see in the temperature data right after perforation.
The technology involves the exchange of a carbon dioxide molecule with a methane molecule in the hydrate structure. Laboratory experiments have verified that the exchange is rapid and repeatable.
The data that's coming out of this test is probably the most important thing that's going to remain at the end of this. The flare that's burning outside is going to be gone at the end of this test, but the data, these reams and reams of data that they're collecting, are going to be the important thing that we take away from this, that we get to as scientists to continue to look at and chop up and dissect to try to really get an understanding of what's going on downhole, in a well, in a reservoir, with hydrates in it. You know, it's a key thing for DOE. That's where we need to go, is to understand what's really happening down there. And I think the data that's coming out of this is the only way that we're going to get there. This is a critical step, and without Conoco and all the folks that are here on site making that happen, we couldn't do this.
Ignik-Sakumi No. 1 was drilled in 2011 in the winter, when very cold temperatures allow temporary access to the site with little disturbance to the Alaska North Slope tundra. Operations were suspended when temperatures began to rise in the spring. Activity began again in the winter of 2012.
One of the things I think is unique about this is, I mean, you look out at this environment, you know, you get people asking you why does it cost what it does to drill a well and do an experiment like this. And I think just this environment, you know, as you look around, the harshness of it and all the conditions that you have, I think really plays into why it takes what it takes to do something like this.
So the well house is up ahead.
If successful, the exchange of carbon dioxide for methane has several benefits beyond supplying a clean source of energy. It takes a potent greenhouse gas, carbon dioxide, and trades it for the cleanest burning fossil fuel, and in the process maintains the integrity of the hydrate-bearing formation. Alaska, with its abundance of methane hydrates, is a natural laboratory to safely field test this process. The name Ignik-Sakumi means fire in the ice in the Inupiaq language. This well and the associated production field trial represent an important step to potential future production of methane hydrates, but only a step. Production testing of gas hydrates has to date not demonstrated commercial viability. This potential supply of a clean fossil fuel will remain untapped unless a technically and economically viable means of producing methane from hydrates and an efficient means of transporting the resource to market is found. There's a lot to learn and a long way to go. ConocoPhillips and the Department of Energy are invested in understanding the potential of this technology and its role in allowing access to a potentially significant new source of clean energy. With each step, we move forward towards a future where future generations can count on clean and reliable energy to fuel their hopes and dreams.